What's up, boys and girls? It's me, Nate from Everyday Gaming Society at Motor City Comic Con 2016, and I am here with the head of SourcePoint Comics, Travis McIntyre.
Travis McIntyre.
So, we like to expose and show people local Michigan companies and projects that go on. What is SourcePoint Comics to you, and how did it get started?
SourcePoint Press started about 3 years ago when a small group of us that were self-publishing our comics kind of banded together, like, oh, we'll just publish them all under one banner. And then about a year into that, we had gotten to the point where we were starting to kind of move a little bit more copies and maybe having a very, very minimal amount of success. And then, so we thought, well, let's expand. Let's try to bring in some more people. Let's try to expose some more talent. And also, we had started a sort of sister company called the Michigan Comics Collective, which was meant as like a little bit more of an educational group or an easy first step into comics publishing. So we kind of joined the two together, and then we raised a little bit of money, and then we kind of launched the second wave of SourcePoint Press, which was us sort of reaching out and actively looking for new titles, actively looking for new creators, looking for people in Michigan who had the talent and the drive, and were most importantly doing something different and something fresh, and ready to push and ready to try. And about a year ago, we started doing that, and it's kind of been blowing up ever since then.
So you guys basically find newer talent and then try to get them into more like, to bring comic books to you guys, but also if they're good enough, you can farm them out to like bigger companies like Marvel, DC, Image, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we've worked, like right now, we just released a book called Dead Duck and Zombie Chick, which is a creator-owned title by Jay Fosgitt, and he's the artist on Rocket and Groot for Marvel right now. And along with he's one of the regular My Little Pony artists and all of that. So we've worked with, people who are the whole gamut, from relatively high up to brand new coming into the industry. I like to think of us as sort of filling the gap of where it's like an Image Comics maybe used to be, as like a friendly place for independents to go, and now their business model's changed. What they've done has changed. That's great. They do great work, but now, they're more of people who have made their bones somewhere else go there. They're names, big names in the industry, people who have an audience. I feel like we're trying to fill that void of people who maybe don't have that yet, but have the talent, have good ideas, and we have sort of the expertise and the experience and the ability to bring the new stories to life.
What I like about it is that I was talking to one of your guys earlier, and that someone that doesn't really know how to break into the comic books industry and doesn't really have that creative push to become something more than they are,
right.
You guys give them the chance to become that.
Yeah, that's actually that's what the MCC, the Michigan Comics Collective, was all about, was that, so we started working with, we started working with several stores. And you hang out at a retail store, you start meeting people, and a lot of people are interested in comics, and a lot of people have done a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but they don't really know the steps. Making a comic, getting it out is complicated, long, expensive, difficult process. And we wanted to give people a chance to be like, okay, if you're willing to put in some of the work, I'll show you how to do all this stuff. We'll make this all happen. You're a writer. I know a lot of artists, other guys who are hungry, who maybe you can get past the idea of like, oh, I got to come up with all this money to pay a page rate. I got to do this. I got to do that. We can help you get past those humps. And maybe you just do a short in one of our anthologies. Maybe you do a one-shot that's 20 pages long. Maybe you do something bigger. That's all a negotiable thing. But at the end of it, you end up with a professionally published piece, and hopefully you can then use that as a launching pad to move on to bigger and better. Whether it's coming from doing an MCC book to doing some paid work with SourcePoint, if that's what you're into, or moving on to any of the other companies, both bigger and smaller than us.
Awesome. Where can they find you? Like, where can they get a hold of you if this is something they're interested in, something they want to do?
Yeah, probably the Facebook is easy. SourcePoint Press or Michigan Comics Collective on Facebook is easy. We're on Twitter at MI Comic Collect and at Source PT Press. For submissions at sourcepointpress.com is, we're constantly looking at new stuff. And the same thing for the MCC. If you are interested in getting in at any level, You know, you're a writer, you're an artist, you've never done sequential, you need advice, you don't know what you're doing. How do you set up files for print? All that stuff. There's an email address, michigancomicscollective@gmail.com. You can send that anything you want, or ideas you have, or stuff you would want, and that will ultimately comes directly to me. And usually, you know, we can start a dialogue and kind of find out what you can do, you know, from there.
Absolutely. So, boys and girls, go ahead and check out Sword Point Press. Check out all those links he just sent out. And if you want to become an aspiring, hungry comic book artist, go ahead and check these guys out, and they'll get you there. But as always, this is Motor City Comic Con 2016, and I'll see you later.